After many attempts, here we are with Paul Blom of the South African Horrorfest. We're going to be talking about the 2023. How many years of Horrorfest is this now? I keep losing
It's
track.
our it's our 19th edition.
Coming up to the
Yeah.
20th very soon. But
Yep.
yeah, we're going to be talking about the highlights, the big sort of silent movie thing that happens every year, the short films that happen every year. We're going to talk about a whole bunch
Yep.
of cinema screenings. But yeah, I suppose let's just get into it.
Yeah,
So
man. No, we this year also before we started announcing all our movies, we sort of did quite a few advanced screenings of new releases, just sort of as freebies. We did these ticket giveaways with our Horrorfest folks. So the people from Empire and Filmfinity and UIP, they make it possible for us to get some people into the pre-release advanced screenings. Like for a couple of months before, we did like Last Voyage of the Demeter. We did Saw 10. We did Exorcist Believer. There was another one or two in there. I can't even remember. But yeah, it's always fun, to kind of get people ready for Halloween time and the horror fest.
yeah,
Yeah, this year, it's every year it's fun, but also a bit of a stress to get all the movies sorted because there's stuff that you want, and then they come back and they want $1,000
yeah.
screening fee, and that's just impossible for us to do. So there were some movies that we were very keen on, that unfortunately I had to drop out for those kind of reasons. But we also did just about a month before the festival started, end of September, we did 50th anniversary screening of the original Exorcist to get people ready for the Exorcist Believer, which is quite contentious. People are complaining about it. We did a review at the Horrorfest channel about it, and I mean, you're not going to please people. Yeah, you'll just have to. The best thing I can think of is if they made this without it being connected to the Exorcist. Obviously, it was cool to have Ellen Burstyn linked in there, but if they excluded her and just made it a possession movie, it would have been one of the best possession movies of the last decade, I would reckon. But unfortunately, it's linked to the Exorcist, so people are going to nail into it and tell David Gordon Green, yes, he ruined the Halloween franchise. Now he's going to ruin the Exorcist franchise. So people get very touchy with their property. Horror fans, these movies are their property. So if people mess with it, they get very offended. But anyway, yeah, so we did the Exorcist screening in sort of get ready for the Believer movie, and we got some people in there as well to check it out. Also, yeah, they came out with mixed reviews on that, but yeah, so we just we had one particular movie in mind for the opening screening. Now we tried to open on the 25th of October. We'll be opening with this. We tried to get this one movie, but then that was one of those $1,000 issues. Because we also want to start with something fun and not too serious, especially after the original Exorcist. So we thought, let's do Shark Exorcist.
Oh yeah,
because it is just so far out, man. It's those kind of so bad it's good movies. But the cool thing is just people, the actors, everyone plays it so seriously, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen Birdemic, so I cannot say if it's like Birdemic, but it's definitely Sharknado on a shoestring. So it's
Okay.
perfect. It's
Well, I mean,
perfect to kick the Horrorfest off with some.
Sharknado looks like it
I
was
like.
made on a shoestring anyway. So
No, yeah, but shoestring on flip. It made on a flip flop budget. so
wow.
so we thought, okay, no, let's just on the 25th of October we kick off with something fun, just to get people into the movie, because there are some serious movies. Like the very next day on the 26th of October, we've got Mother Superior, very cool Austrian movie, visually great, like a kind of a gothic fairy tale type thing. And then that is on the Thursday. And then the Friday, it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. We have to get that over the Halloween weekend, and people are always excited to come do the Rocky Horror audience participation thing. So that'll be on Friday the 27th. And the day after, we're doing the Horrorfest market again. So we've got a whole bunch of fun, cool vendors to pull in outside the lobby theater. They've got a little veranda there with lots of space. So we're going to pull a bunch of stalls in there with some cool stuff people can come check out from noon all the way till 9 o'clock, when we have the live soundtrack for the silent film, the Macabre Ensemble live soundtrack. And this year, since Flanagan's rendition series of
Netflix
Fall of the House of Usher, we thought, well, then let's just do the 1928 movie of the Fall of the House of Usher. It's a very, very cool French adaptation. But I knew about the Flanagan thing, but I knew it was going to come out sort of October-ish. I thought, well, then let's just do that at the same time. Then, people will, if people search for a House of Usher, then they might come across ours as well.
Well,
so
if you can get Netflix to do your marketing for you by accident, that's also probably fine.
Yeah, why not? They've got far further reach than we do. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think they'd be able to afford $1,000 a film quite happily.
No, fuck it. Definitely. But we so I mean, it's a 1928 French adaptation, visually so cool. And we actually have a couple of guests like we've had before. We've had Sarah Extian from Polar Dust. She's coming down from Joburg. She'll be one of the guests, as well as for the first time Charles East, pianist, vocalist, very good. He's coming in from Worcester area. He's coming down. And then Sonia's Isabel partner in the Isabel group, Nareen Dorman. She'll be pulling in for about two pieces. She'll be joining us as a guest. So it's going to be a fun evening. And we've got the guys like Bothner's and Pineapple Sound that all help us out, because it's a costly mission. So you need all the help you can get to have a single show with X amount of seats in the cinema to make it, break even. So always love it when the guys come and assist us with that. So thanks to Bothner's and Pineapple. But so that's going to be the Halloween dress up night as well.
Okay.
So it'll be market throughout the day. People can pitch up whenever they want to dress up. It's not like you're not allowed to dress up at any particular time, but we'll be giving away some prizes on the at the Macabre Ensemble live soundtrack. We always then pick some of the coolest dressed people, and there's always some very nice outfits, because people often they come in there they go off to their other Halloween party. So they first come to our show, watch the cool old silent movie with the live soundtrack, which is still a very unique thing to experience. And it's going to be more diverse than usual because we have all these guests. So it's going to be very, very, very cool. Almost every single movie that we're screening will be an African and South African premiere. These movies haven't screened in any theater. It hasn't streamed anywhere. Most of these movies are still doing the festival circuit, so you can't find it anywhere, even if you try. So like for instance, R.L. Stein's Zombie Town on Sunday night. That's the 29th. I never read those Goosebumps books when I was younger. I just see that actually on Disney Plus now they've got a Goosebumps series also happening. I thought it was that movie they did one with Jack Black, I think.
Yes.
Did they do a few of those Goosebumps movies?
Yeah, I think I've seen the second one at least. I don't know about a third one.
I haven't seen. Yeah, and I saw the Fear Street is also based on R.L. Stein's books.
Really?
Watched those. They made those 3 Netflix movies.
Yeah.
We also reviewed them at our Horrorfest channel. They were pretty cool. They were quite hardly tween kind of stuff. It was quite brutal slasher stuff.
Yeah.
But Zombie Town is a bit more family friendly. But the cool thing about this is Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase are back on screen together for the first time in I don't know, probably Spies Like Us was like the last movie they were together in the 80s. I think they were Caddyshack 2 and Spies Like Us. Those were like the last movies. That's like decades since they've been in a movie together. So that's very cool. And actually, coincidentally, both R.L. Stein and Chevy Chase turned 80 like last week or something.
Wow.
So that is just crazy. I mean, you know, we grew up watching Chevy Chase in the vacation movies in the 80s, and yeah, so we love those guys. And Dan Aykroyd, obviously, Ghostbusters and Blues Brothers. People who don't know who Dan Aykroyd is. Yeah, so yeah, it's zombie. You gotta have a zombie movie. So Zombie Town is our zombie movie on Sunday the 29th. And all these movies, we're doing a single show every day at 8:30 at the Labia Theatre. I didn't mention. It's so obvious. It's always at the Labia Theatre for the last 19 editions, 18 editions, 19th edition. It'll be the Labia Theatre again in Cape Town.
If you did change, it would be quite a change. I mean, that would be quite a shock to everyone, I think.
Yeah. But there's definitely no chance that we could do it in like a mall cineplex. That's not going to work at all.
No.
The Labia Theatre has the mood and everything's just right for it. So hopefully they'll keep going for a very long time. So yeah. But so yeah, that's a Sunday. That's kind of like the Halloween weekend, because obviously Halloween falls on a Tuesday. So everyone will be having their Halloween madness on the last couple of days there, from the 27th to the 29th. And on the Monday, the 30th, we've got a movie with a South African connection called Hex, H-E-X. It's not an Afrikaans movie. No, not Afrikaanse Hex. H-E-X. Yeah, it's a Rudolf Buitendach, South African filmmaker. He shot it in Cambodia. British and American actors, and yeah, kind of a woman who's kind of a possession type of thing. Wow. That's very cool to always love to include local stuff. That's on the Monday the 30th, and then Halloween night, Tuesday the 31st, we'll be doing our cinema edition of the short films, the Shadow Realm short film collections. So we pick some of our favorites to do that in the cinema, because we have, as you know, we've got 5 Shadow Realm chapters, 10 hours worth of short films. That's on the streaming section, which we'll get to after the cinema. So yeah, we pick, I think it's about 10 movies. Some very, again, I wouldn't even know where to start, because it's from every part of the world, covering every type of horror subgenre. Some stuff that you can't even really categorize. Just really cool stop animation, comedy stuff. There's even like a kind of a little documentary essay. It's just not to be missed in any way. So if you want to catch it in the cinema, come get the cinema edition. But then there is still another 8 hours worth that you didn't see, which you'll have to catch on the streaming section, which runs via Quicket. So sometimes I think people sort of stall a bit, and then when the time runs out, it's they still got 3 chapters to watch, and they don't have time. So they must get in quick on like the 25th of October, start watching them, because you got like 10 or 13 days, and then it's gone. So
yeah, you need to. I mean, I know as a film like festival organizer, you all have to do a lot of work, but as a serious sort of attendee, you have to do a lot of work as well. You have to plan very carefully. You know, I've got this many hours in the day that aren't related to something else. These are the number of hours I've got free. These are the number of hours I need to sleep. These are the number of hours I can get away with not sleeping. And these are all the films that I want to watch.
My suggestion is that you come watch the movies on the weekend and throughout the week, but then you take a long weekend and you watch the streaming movies as well in between, but then you take a long weekend. You take Friday off and the Monday. So the 6th and is it the 3rd? Friday the 3rd, 4th, 5th? Yeah. So you've got a long weekend, and then you finish everything off. That's my suggestion.
See, I did it the other way around. So
because you're not going to see these things anymore.
I took off the Tuesday and the Wednesday. Wait, not Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday and the Friday, and then the Monday at the beginning of the festival. So then I can see like, okay, how many of these can I get in, and then how many do I have left, and how many days do I have, and how much energy do I have to watch all of the movies? Because there are a
That's the
lot.
thing, yeah. Speaking of energy, we linked up with the guys from Slayer Energy, to to kind of get some energy in there, because like chatted with them, always the energy drinks, it's always like extreme sports and stuff. So we said, no, we should look at the angle of staying up late watching horror movies and drinking your Slayer energy drink. So
Much
yeah,
better.
we'll be doing some stuff for them. Yeah, we'll be doing stuff for them because their stock is completely depleted now, because they're kind of like a sort of a mail order energy drink. You can't really find it. You can only order it straight from them, and they're like,
Okay.
the stock is completely depleted. So we're hoping to see if they'll have some stock coming down, but we'll only know probably that Halloween weekend. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But yeah, so then on Halloween night is the short films, and then Wednesday the 1st, it's an anthology movie called The 100 Candles Game: The Last Possession. Always fun having, just like short films, have like an anthology with 3 or 4 stories intertwined. It's a very cool movie as well. And then on the Thursday, it's a freaking amazing. Is that the 2nd? Thursday the 2nd of November? Yeah. Abruptio.
Yes.
It is
I have
like
tickets for that
life-size
already.
puppets.
I have tickets for
It's
that
like
already.
like human puppets. It's crazy. It is so unique and so bizarre and so cool, and it's got some very cool voice actors. It's got Jordan Peele. It's got Sid Haig from all the Rob Zombie movies. It's got Robert Englund, better known as Freddy Krueger, for those who don't know. So yeah, it's and Jordan Peele obviously made Get Out and Nope and Us,
Yeah.
and did stuff on the new Twilight Zone series. So yeah, that is a very, very cool movie that not many people know about. We didn't know about it. They submitted it to the festival and was like, "Sheesh, where'd this come from?" We definitely
Yeah.
couldn't pass up on showing this. So
Yeah. I mean, that's
we
quite a
might,
voice cast.
yeah. But then also it gets quite bloody. It's not. It's very, very far out. It's a guy who finds out he's got a bomb planted at the base of his skull, and he gets these messages. He has to do these atrocious things, otherwise they'll blow his head off. So it's
One
it's
of
a mad,
those.
mad, mad movie. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's very cool. It's very cool, and also obviously very, very black humor in it. So like
Hmm.
half of the movie is always black humor, and then the day after, on Friday the 3rd, it's How to Kill Monsters, which is like a
Uh-huh.
British horror comedy. So it's completely not black. It's just madness, gory, purple goo splattering monster stuff. It's just yeah, great fun. It's on the Friday night, How to Kill Monsters, and then on the Saturday, Pandemonium, French movie, very, very cool movie. But 2 guys in a car accident, and they realize they're dead, and they sort of purgatory hell and going off in these
Ah,
strange tangents. It's a very, very cool movie, not to be missed.
okay.
And then on the Sunday, we were going to finish on the Sunday with
Hmm.
the 1933 King Kong for its 90th anniversary, screening on 16mm film. We've done previously at our Celluloid Festival, we did Monster from the Ocean Floor, and then previous Horrorfest we did the Bela Lugosi's Dracula on 16mm,
Mm-hmm.
and now 16mm King Kong. Our friend Marco Pellis is a 16mm film addict. He
Yeah.
buys these prints from all over the world. So yeah, it's cool. So he told us he had this, and we thought, hey, it just works out so perfectly. 90th anniversary, let's do it. So that's
Yeah.
happening on Sunday the 5th. But then we added an extra show for doing another cinema screening a couple of years back. We did Ryan Kruger's Fried Barry,
Yup.
which many people, well, we did 2 screenings of it back then, and there were still people who missed it, who still want to see it. So we thought, well, let's just give it another cinema run for one night on
It's
Monday the 6th of November.
it's
So
first
that's going to be
cinema
fun, and Ryan's going
revival.
to be there. Yeah, Ryan's going to be there. introduce it and can chat with people afterwards if they want. And he's also got some Fried Barry goodies that they'll be doing audience giveaways. Because
Oh, nice.
I'm going to see if he'll be able to talk about the Street Trash movie that he just finished. Street Trash, if you haven't seen it, it's this crazy 80s movie. Guy finds this Viper booze in the cellar and he sells it in his bottle store, and all these homeless guys start drinking it and they just start instantly melting, turning into like purple green goo. That's a crazy movie, guys. Living in this scrap yard, and it's just crazy. It's almost like a trauma movie, but yeah, just very, very, very different kind of a strange 80s flick. So Ryan, after Fried Barry, did quite well around the festival circuit all around the world and won awards and everything. So he got now to do like it's kind of a sequel, not really a remake, more like kind of a, what do they call it? A requel.
I was just about to say that. Where is that from?
Yeah.
Oh, it was from the new Scream movie. It's not a sequel, it's a requel.
Okay, obviously it's become a thing now. So, I mean, they shot it here in Cape Town, and Sonia and I, we actually played. He asked us to do some kind of cameo death scenes in there. So, yeah.
Okay. Actual celebrity.
Yeah, we were there fracking all night. It was still quite wintry, freezing, standing there with fake blood running down you, and it just turns ice cold immediately. So it was quite a taxing thing for like a couple of seconds of screen time. But no, we did it, and it was fun. So we're going to see if we can ask him questions about that, or if he's allowed to talk about it, because I think they're currently editing. Not sure when the release date is, so we'll chat to him about that. But then, obviously, so the festival starts on the 25th of October, ends on the 6th of November at the Labia, but in that same period is the streaming section as well. And that the streaming chapter also happens at Quicket, where we buy our cinema tickets. Same platform, they host online content as well. So we'll have the virtual section of the festival also be running at Quicket. The tickets aren't there yet because only once everything is uploaded, then it activates. So we're busy getting all the movies sorted and uploaded and all of that kind of technical pain in the ass. I'll get all the short films together. So then, from the 25th, you'll be able to stream the only movies that will be streamable. That's also in the cinema. That's what the thing is. It's kind of like a twin festival. It's two sort of separate festivals because it's not really replicated. Yeah. So the only movies that are repeated, Zombie Town will be streaming as well, but I think it might only stream after the cinema screening. Okay. So you won't be able to watch it before the cinema streaming. Hex will be streaming for a couple of days, not for the duration of the festival. So after the cinema screening, it'll be on for about 3 days or so. And then Mother Superior will be streaming as well. And then obviously the short films from the cinema section will be scattered amongst the 5 short film chapters running throughout the duration from the 25th of October to the 6th of November in the streaming section. But then
speaking of the streaming section of the festival, obviously you can do the marathon of all the short films, but you can also do a marathon of all the Toxie. You can do the
Toxic Avenger
marathon as well now.
Yeah, we got hold of, because initially we were trying to get the Toxic Avenger remake that they now did with Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones, and spoke to old Uncle Lloyd Kaufman from Troma, and he put me in contact with the people from Legendary Pictures. Didn't hear from them, but then out of the blue, I actually heard back from them, and they said, "No, thanks. They're really excited about it, but unfortunately, they only did like a couple of festivals kind of premieres for it, so they're not doing any other until they're now working out their release plan for the movie. So unfortunately, while they would have loved to, we won't be able to screen the original the remake of Toxic Avenger. But down the line, I'm holding thumbs that I'm going to remind them again closer to the time when it now gets an international release, we'll see if we can do something linked to the Horrorfest for the Toxic Avenger remake. But then contacted Uncle Lloyd and said, okay, in that case, how about we just give people the entire freaking Toxic saga, all 4 movies. And they are just, I mean, those movies are just so brilliant. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor, watch them all. And if you have seen it, watching them again, but it, it's so funny and so crazy. It is just, no one can take it seriously. It is just so over the top and nuts. So basically, Toxic Avenger as this nerd that got thrown out of a window when a prank. He's like working as a janitor at a gym. So he falls out the window, falls into this vat of toxic waste in this town called Tromaville in New Jersey. And he turns into the Toxic. He turns into the Toxic Avenger. Sort of, he's got like a Spidey sense. He's got like his Toxic Avenger sense when there's like evil afoot, and he sorts people out with his mop. Its heads exploding, and just crazy stuff. It is so flippant. It is fun. It's so fun.
The wall. But I saw the first one. I didn't get to see the second one, and now obviously there's the third and the fourth one. I think was there 4?
Yeah, the third one is The Last Temptation of Toxie, and the fourth one is Citizen Toxie. It's not going to be Citizen Kane. Yeah, but initially when it released in South Africa, it released on VHS. They released the second one, but they called it the Toxic Avenger, as if it's the first one, because there's like a kind of a recap of what happened. So they just released it in South Africa as the Toxic Avenger, but then whereas it was actually the second one. So I saw the second one first, went to the UK in the mid-90s, saw the first one then, and then recently on streaming I got to watch the third and the fourth one. So watch them all in a row. You have to. But we also, we haven't had our X Fest in a while, because it's just difficult to, it's already difficult getting people to attend the Horrorfest because it is niche. It is I won't say demanding, but to get people to commit 13 days just to horror movies, you must be a hardcore fan like you to actually do it. So to convince people to do that it's difficult. So our X Fest is even harder because it's like extreme crazy, really the craziest of the crazy movies and weird documentaries, and just, some of the stuff we screen there is just off the wall, and it's very difficult to get people and to get to convince the Labia Theatre to, you don't know are you going to get a full house or are you going to get 2 people? I don't know. So they don't want to take that chance. So we haven't done the X Fest in a very long time. So we thought best thing is just to kind of absorb it into the Horrorfest and then have like a little kind of a X Fest chapter within the Horrorfest. So the Toxic Avenger movies, they are our little X Fest corner of the Horrorfest.
It does have enough. It does still have enough horror elements in it.
No, definitely.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole sort of saga play out.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But horror is just so pliable. You can get comedy horror, you can get sci-fi horror. I think we've discussed this so many times. It's just supernatural horror, body horror. It's just all. It has so many variants. So if whatever your taste, you can have something like that within. You can find your favorite type movie within horror.
I think that's something when you say the Horrorfest that people don't necessarily realize, the kind of scope that you're talking about in terms of films. There's everything from sort of very meditative, kind of thoughtful, artistic things, and then there's the splatter and the gore, and there's the humor, and there's the sort of outrageousness, and then there's the genuine terror. There's
you got found footage that popped up the last how many years? There's just it's always something, and all kinds of monsters. You've got Yeah, it's so wide. It's you can chat about it forever. Obviously, the people with the more highbrow, like A24 horror movies are, once they're more highbrow, I guess it can be called more highbrow, or like elevated horror as they called it recently. So yeah, can. But then some people just like an old Halloween slasher movie. It's just silly. So, and you're not necessarily disturbed if you watch these movies. So yeah, we've mentioned it so many times. So yeah, don't want to get into the psychology of it because each person has their own taste. But yeah. So I mean, we've got about, how many do we have? I think we've got 15 movies streaming, and the 5 short film chapters. I must just double check. It's either going to be 25 or 30 rand per movie to stream, and then either 250 or 30. I mean, 250 or 300 for the full festival pass, so you can watch absolutely everything. That's like, works out like $10 a movie or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
nothing.
not to be sniffed at. Yeah, but some of the other streaming movies we have. Also, just want to mention our 3 international jury members joining myself and Sonia. Sorry, Sonia couldn't make it. It's been a very long and hard week, and she's not feeling up to it. So it's just me tonight. So joining the 2 of us as the jury members to pick all the best movies from the festival, we have Johannes Grensfurthner. We've screened 2 of his movies in the past. Masking Threshold, which won some awards, and also, what was the other one called? Hatzenest. He's from Austria. Very, very interesting guy. I actually did an interview with him as well for our Celluloid Festival. We screened 2 of his documentaries at the Celluloid Festival. Fascinating guy. So he's one of our jury members. And then Steve Villeneuve, French Canadian guy, also filmmaker, and he runs various horror film festivals and events in Canada. And then Devaney Pinn, she's an American actress. She's been in loads and loads and loads and loads of independent horror movies. And what we decided to do this year was to include a movie each of them are attached to in the streaming section as well. So we're including Johannes's Masking Threshold. So people who didn't get to see it when we screened it a few years back can now check it out.
Highly recommended.
Watch it, or they can watch it again. It's very
good.
Interesting.
It's a very interesting film.
Yeah, it's so. I don't think there's actually really been anything like it before. It's just so off. I mean, he's an off the wall kind of guy, but also very intellectually off the wall. So it's a very, very interesting movie. So Masking Threshold, Johannes's movie, and then we've got Steve Villeneuve's documentary Hail to the Deadites, which is a documentary on Evil Dead fans. So that's just who isn't an Evil Dead fan? I mean, come on. But that one, we I think we had that also a couple of years back. We had it at the Horrorfest, so you can, if you missed it, you can catch up on that, or if you want to watch it again, there we go. And then one of Devaney Pinn's recent movies that she starred in, it's with what's his name, Vernon Wells. Remember the Road Warrior, the guy with the mark on the motorbike, the humongous main henchman. He's much older now. He plays her dad, and the car veers off the road, and she's pregnant, and they get stuck on this cliff, and it's quite the towards the end. Some people go, "What the?" It goes way off the road. You did not expect it. So it's not horror. It's leading towards a very, very hectic climax. So so those are the 3 we'd like to do that going forward. Include a movie from all our jury members. So that's a cool addition. What else do we have? We got a Japanese movie, Love Will Tear Us Apart. It's a crazy movie, but it's hard to explain. I'm not going to explain it. It's well worth watching. It's a filmmaker that we've had before.
Most of these films have
Sorry.
trailers available online, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I must still do that. I must still do some of more of the streaming ones. I'm still releasing the trailers as I go, but
Yeah.
all the cinema ones, all the
Yeah.
trailers are out there at the Horrorfest channel on YouTube. But yeah, Love Will Tear Us Apart. It's about this girl that grew up with this sort of little friend, and they get older, and people start getting killed off, and it's as far as there's some freaking crazy deaths in there. That's just
Yeah.
it's hilarious. It's intense but hilarious at the same time. So that's a very. I mean, we've always got such a nice international spread of movies. That's one of our Eastern editions, and then another movie called What Lurks Beneath.
Oh
Um,
yes.
guys in a U-boat, and then a woman turns up in one of the torpedo chutes, and things start going very weird at the bottom of the ocean. So it's also a bit of a different one. What else do we have? Forever Home, like a horror
Okay.
comedy. This couple, they buy this house, but then the place is haunted, and things just go crazy. All these strange ghosts that pop up there. Also another fun one, and between all the serious stuff. Um, what else do we have? Got a movie from, is it from Uganda? Bombay, about this drug, but like turns people into zombies. So it's almost feels like a Nollywood movie, but
Okay.
but it's fun. I always like to include a kind of a African angle. It's not South African. Um, and another movie from Austria, Enter My Cell. It's like this kind of a strange fungus infection thing that spreads across. It turns
Mm.
people into uh, not weird organisms. It's not like The Last of Us, but it's odd and strange and very very weird.
Yeah.
So that's into my cell. Sure, I think that's all of it, eh? I think
Yeah.
that's all of it,
So that's
man.
the in cinema screenings and then the streaming movies, and then there's
Yeah,
also you're doing the Bloody Parchment again this year.
yeah. Bloody Parchment. We'll be doing it online at the RFS channel again with different authors reading from their work. We've done that since the pandemic. We started doing it online because it's also difficult getting a slot at the theater, and
Yeah.
if it's at a time where people are still on their way from work, then they can't really make it well, whereas they would like to. So yeah, so it's more convenient to do it online, so people can check it out whenever they want to. And
Yeah.
if they missed it completely, it's there. I mean, there's like a whole batch of them
Yeah.
that they can go watch now if they want to. And then yeah, so we'll also do them. I don't think we'll do them all in one go. We sort of do them across the festival to try and sort of
Mm.
pace people, like we wanted to do with the streaming stuff. Was not throw everything in there at once, sort of do
Yeah.
piece by piece, so that it kind of it's like a steady flow instead of here's a barrage of 20 for
Yeah.
15 movies and 10 hours of short films. Are you ready to start?
So at least it
So,
feels manageable, even though it might not be.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's also a case of like anything, you'll just have to kind of pick and choose and dig in there and see
Yeah.
what are your priorities, focus on them, and then yeah, work your way down the line. Um,
Yeah.
Thinking what else? Yeah, we also got our giveaways again, like we're gonna have some Disney Plus annual streaming subscriptions again. The
Mm-hmm.
guys from Fullfinity, they organize that for us again, so that's cool. Um, some books from Penguin, like we always have. Our friends at Mr. Lucky's Cape Town Tattoo got some tattoo vouchers to go with the Halloween dress up prize. What else do we have? Yeah, I think that's about it.
You're not doing one of those old school boxes of DVDs from the cinema chains.
Unfortunately, unfortunately
Does
not,
anybody still
because no
have
one
one?
really
Does anybody have a
no one
DVD player?
distributes it anymore. Eh?
Yeah. I don't think everybody has DVD players anymore. I think I have
No, I
a
mean,
friend of mine. I was gonna lend him my copy of the Universal monster movies, and he's like, "Yeah, but I don't have any discs. I don't have anything that plays
I'm not going
discs
to watch it.
anymore."
No, I don't. That's that's what I find so weird. Is that people just get rid of stuff. I mean, I've still got a VHS player because I've still got movies on VHS that you can't find anywhere because
Yeah.
it was never released on DVD. It's not streaming anywhere. So what, how?
And
So
if
we've
it
still got a
is
VHS player, a DVD player, Blu-ray player, everything.
and if it is streaming somewhere, you're never sure if it's going to be like wiped off the internet and just disappear forever.
That's the thing. And also, I don't like scrounging the internet looking for like
No.
illegal downloads and stuff. I don't dig that, so I don't do that. Um, but just to it's like Netflix more and more is just creating their own stuff, so you're not going to find it there.
No.
Maybe Tubi or Plex or somewhere there you can go sort of find it. But then also you can sort of rent stuff on YouTube. So
Yeah.
rent
Yeah, but
movies and via Apple TV, but it's not always. It's obviously it's going to be more commercial stuff and not really these obscure,
yeah.
strange 80s movies or 70s movies that you
Well,
can't find anywhere anymore.
yeah, certainly nothing you're going to watch at the Horrorfest.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, but sometimes I mean, sometimes they let some release some interesting stuff but not the old, unless it's some rom-com or something. That's old. That's the kind of old, like big studio old stuff. Those things will pop up.
The
But
Breakfast Club.
yeah, speaking of which, that's what I wanted to say about. We were sitting the other night, and then Sonia said she's in the mood to watch Pretty in Pink, Molly Ringwald movie, and I actually thought that John Hughes directed it, but he actually wrote and produced it. Someone else directed it. But no, so we went, okay, cool. Let's see if they've got it on Disney Plus. No. Let's see if it's on Amazon Prime. No. Let's see if it's on Showmax for some weird reason. No.
Nope.
So what else? What other streaming service do we have? We don't have Apple TV anymore. Yeah, so those are the main ones. But then I thought, okay, wait, let's go look on the shelf, and we still had the DVD copy still sealed.
Wow.
With
Wow.
with Ferris Bueller, all the vacation movies, 16 Candles, the John Hughes section. Okay, here it is. Let's unwrap it and pop it in the DVD in the Blu-ray player. So
Wow.
yeah, so it helps to hang on to your stuff. And
Yeah.
to me, it's like it's like you have your library books, you have your library with your movies as well.
Yeah.
And so that was one
Yeah.
of the occasions where, just like, I mean, wanting to watch, I still have a VHS copy of Taxi Driver. So we watched Taxi Driver on VHS a couple of years back.
Yeesh.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But it was a decent version with black bars, not a square pan and
Oh.
scan 4x3 crappy version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No good.
yeah. Man, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed out here. I
So
don't think
Rocky
so.
Horror live studio performance. There's the Bloody Parchment. There's the streaming. There's the in cinema. There's the market, which is back. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah. Halloween dress up on the soundtrack night.
There's the
All
60
kinds of
millimeter
movies, all kinds of
screening.
subgenres. Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's a lot.
Fried Barry is back for one night.
Uh-huh.
We've got a French movie. We've got an Austrian movie. We've got European movies. We've got Eastern movies, American movies. So yeah, South African linked movies. So we've covered the whole freaking planet with all freaking
Uh-huh.
genres you can think of.
Yeah, that takes some
So
doing. I mean, like that
yeah,
sounds like that's going to be I mean, if anybody is going to try and watch all of them, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch all of them at this point.
I'm sure
But
you're gonna try. You're gonna try.
I will
You're gonna give it a
try.
good try.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
little square eyes. After
Pound
they.
those energy drinks. Yeah. Oh man.
I'll have to alternate between the Slayer and the Monster. So I have Monster Slayer.
Yeah. Monster Slayer. Excuse me. Yeah. No, flip, man. Yeah, it's just once a year. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I saw Take a Lot. get an email from Takealot with, "Oh, order your Christmas stuff now." It's like, dude, fuck it.
Too soon.
Hey,
Too
give
soon.
Halloween is not even. It's still 2 weeks until Halloween. Chill the fuck out, you know.
Back off.
First make
Back
a
off.
big thing about Halloween, not just. Yeah, I tell you. Anyway.
Yeah, the only acceptable Christmas movies: The Thing, Gremlins 1, Gremlins 2. Everything else go away. Maybe
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a great movie. Is it Silent Night, Deadly Night? I actually watched it for the
Black
first time
Christmas.
recently.
I still that
Black
I have to
Christmas
see.
was actually very cool.
What's the
That
new
was
one
that was very cool. I mean, and that preceded Halloween and Friday the 13th, all those by a couple of years. And I think it's a Canadian movie, so that's actually the first sort of kind of a slasher. But also, like When a Stranger Calls, it's that kind of movie, which was also very, very late 70s, I think, if not. Yeah, I don't think it's even 80s. I think it's late 70s. But
I'll have to look that up.
But yeah, I guess, yeah. There's so many bad Christmas horror movies. I mean, frick it. We went through it. We wanted to do for the horror channel. We wanted to do a thing about all the best Christmas. We're still going to do it at some stage. We wanted to do it for this year again, but didn't get it. We started watching a bunch of Christmas horror movies that we haven't seen. And, oh man, there's some bad ones. There's some very bad ones, and some aren't actually that bad. So we'll do that at the channel at some stage.
I remember one year during I think it was during the Horrorfest, there was a Tree Venge.
Yeah,
I think that was also sort of
cool.
like a Canadian short film. That was great.
Yeah,
that was stuck
excellent.
with me. That and the one with the Jesus causing a zombie apocalypse. That was wild.
Oh man,
that was wild. That was a Spanish one.
Is it Fist of Jesus? I think that's Fist of Jesus. Yeah, he like
the hell.
He like wipes out the zombie apocalypse. Oh, it's
that was
crazy.
great.
I think that was initially that was part of our X-Fest. That was one of our X-Fest short films, but it was just so good. I think it was so good. I added it to the Horrorfest the next year as well. It's
yeah. No, I mean,
was it the same guys who made a movie short called Brutal? Do you remember Brutal Relax?
Yeah. I remember that.
I think it's the same guys. It's this guy is like so tense. So his psychiatrist says, "No, he must go on a beach holiday," but then these zombie creatures come out of the ocean, and then he just annihilates them with all his pent up anger and stuff splattering all over the place. That's so cool. Short films, guys. If you miss out on these short films, you're a freaking idiot. There are such cool shorts in there.
Yeah,
you have to watch.
I mean, you're never gonna know what is in them because they're all so very, very varied. I mean,
it's like a lucky packet with a win every single time.
Yeah,
and we consciously. But the thing is, like I always say, there are so many movies because we only have. I mean, we started out with like 1 or 2 chapters when we started the festival. We thought, okay, there's so many cool ones. Let's make it 3 chapters. Okay, let's push it to 4. Now we're on 5 freaking 2-hour volumes. It's just it's a lot. And then there are still more that we couldn't include that we would love to, but it's just we have to draw the line somewhere. So it's sort of the best of the best, and then which ones we find the best ones, we kind of spread them across. So you always have at least a couple of excellent ones, and the rest are all great or good.
Yeah.
So you can't really lose with those short film collections.
No.
And another thing, sorry, almost forgot about that. We're actually pretty much rolling straight into our Celluloid Festival in December. So
cool.
Once the Horrorfest is done, it's like a couple of weeks and it's Celluloid again. So that'll be the first week of this. Chat about that, yeah. So it's science fiction, fantasy, and animation related stuff. So, and then obviously sometimes there's some kind of horror-y science fiction movies and shorts that we work into Celluloid as well. So it's very fluid. But so kind of while we're now finishing with the Horrorfest, I'm also working on getting Celluloid sorted. So it's
you were a very, very
busiest
busy
time
man.
ever.
You're a very, very busy man.
Yes, indeed.
thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, we usually go about 3 hours, don't we? So it's better
Well,
than usual.
yeah, no, we did well this time. I think last time we
Yeah.
went for like an hour and a half, maybe. But I know
But
it's
the
a
tangents
yeah, I mean,
tangents go in all directions.
yes, no, they do. And I know it's a Saturday evening, and you've got a lot to sort of still catch up on and finish off.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll. I also saw the new American Horror Story is also now on Disney Plus. I don't think we'll
Oh
be able to
yeah.
get started on that. Don't know if we'll be able to get started on Flanagan's House of Usher series on Netflix. So
Yeah.
yeah, probably once Horrorfest done, I'll get onto those.
No. You've got to finish the Silly Droid stuff first, then you can start watching movies again.
Okay, off after Christmas.
Yeah. And then in
We'll
between, you've got
watch.
all your film reviews you need to do.
And yeah, as well. Yeah. So yeah, we won't be doing too many Horrorfest reviews now between now and
Yeah.
early November because it's just Horrorfest festival now. And the channel will be. I mean, obviously there's lots of content popping up with trailers and bits and pieces related to the Horrorfest movies, but actual reviews will be holding back on those until we can have a little little carved off piece of time just to squeeze it in there. But we'll try.
Yeah. Well, then you can use that as an excuse to spend some time watching all the stuff that you're missing out on right now.
Yeah, and it's,
So
I mean, just doing those reviews. I mean, we did it once because it was kind of convenient to, once we get out of the cinema of the like a press screening, we stick on the GoPro and we review it on our drive home.
hmm,
Um, it's very convenient to then get it out the way instead of you get home and you have to set up and shoot the thing. But
yeah.
still, just the time just to edit it, it takes, yeah, it eats time like a son of a bitch. And but the only thing about that is, I'm I'm a bit more expressive or analytical when I write stuff instead of just speaking. So
Hmm,
sometimes the reviews are a bit more, just like a casual chat Sonia and I have about the movie afterwards, like you
yeah.
would if you were just driving home. So we don't get into too deep. I mean, unless there's some obvious stuff that popped
Yeah.
out, but we don't analyze it like a freaking professor. But when I sit down and, I mean, I've been writing reviews since like the mid to late 90s. I started doing that. So I just feel, sometimes you can actually process things more as you write it and you think about it, but just
Yeah.
on the fly talking while I'm driving as well. So I'm kind of multitasking as well. So sometimes afterwards I go, damn, I wanted to say this, or I thought I should say this, but then I didn't. Or Sonia has a thought, I have a thought. Actually, I interrupted too much. I was trying not to do that because my train of thought goes and then I like sort of talk over her, and that's just rude. But otherwise, I'll forget. So, and we
Yeah.
also don't want dead air, so we just have to keep talking. So once, yeah, we just want to sit there with our grinning teeth and not have anything to say. So we have to fill all the dead space and just keep
Yeah.
yapping.
Yeah, no,
But anyway,
it takes a bit of doing to do a sort of live on the spot film review, especially if there are two of
yeah.
you and you might not have the same experience of the film.
But that is what's cool about it, because Sonia, yeah, she looks at stuff very differently, but then she also observes things that I just kind of gloss over. Because
Yeah.
to me, I just want to be entertained and it just be cool and just be fun. And she sometimes gets very she takes things very personally, like she didn't like the way Saw 10 ended. She was
Okay.
very pissed off, like for days. But it's fun, it's cool. And it's cool if we disagree. I mean, we don't get into fights about it, but it's good to have different viewpoints because
Yeah.
everyone will look at a movie differently. Whatever your personal taste, whatever your perspective, or even your life experiences, like some things you will not feel comfortable watching. So it's just, yeah, just our little perspective, and maybe some people will kind of don't need to agree with it, but sort of resonate with it, and
Yeah.
maybe get them to go, okay, maybe I wasn't going to see the movie, but now maybe I'll give it a chance. or or they just think, no, definitely I'm not going to watch it, because we try our best not to discourage people from watching movies, because we know how much goes into making a movie.
Yeah.
Even the most straightforward movie is so much work that has to go into it. So just to rip it and say, it's like these clickbait freaking thumbnails, people just ripping into stuff. We don't like doing that. We like
Is
to
this the worst
try and find
film of all time?
Yeah, we try to be diplomatic about these things, and there's always something. I think it was John Waters. I think this is the book. Do I have the book? I think I've got the book over here. It's about I think it's called Director's Cut. It's like he reckons even the worst movie has at least one good frame in it. So if it's even the worst movie ever made, somewhere there's at least like one shot that's worth checking out. So I love that kind of a positive outlook on, people put lots of effort into this, even if it's not your cup of tea, but there's always something in something. I mean, even
I mean, even something like Talk to Me, it's like, okay, well, it's obviously not aimed at all horror fans, and the new Exorcist film isn't necessarily aimed at all the Exorcist fans or all the horror fans. They're trying to do something different, and just sort of knowing that when going in actually kind of helps kind of set your expectations, or at least like tell you, okay, I'm maybe not going to watch this one. Maybe this one I can skip. If like enough people tell me that I should really watch it, they do interesting things with it, then go for it. But don't feel.
I mean, that's how we try to do it. Yeah. But since people that come out, I just wasted 2 hours and $70 of my life. I don't know how much is a movie ticket nowadays. Movie tickets are $70 at the Labia Theatre. I think it's probably more. How much is it at a regular cinema? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I haven't been to one of those mall cinemas in quite some time. We watch the press screening, so unless it's movies we really want to see, but then you go watch in like IMAX or like the 4DX or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I must run, and you must run.
Yes,
but
and
thanks
10
for the
minutes
chat,
after
man.
we said we were going to finish. I suppose it's time to say
always like that.
Good night and good luck with the rest of the festival organizing.
Thanks, man. And horrorfest.info, people can find all the details there.
Yes.
And for tickets, if they search the Horrorfest, South African Horrorfest on Quicket, they should be able to get to our profile page with all the tickets over there.
Yeah.
South African Horrorfest group and page on Facebook. On Instagram, it's SA Horrorfest. On Twitter, or as it's now called, Shitter, it is also SA Horrorfest.
Yeah.
So you can find it anywhere. And we just had this year, we just decided for every Horrorfest, we just do hashtag Horrorfest23. So next year will be hashtag Horrorfest24, so that people search that, they should find pretty much everything related to all the posts that we made. And there are lots of posts to be made.
Excellent.
That we have made and still to be made. So people just keep a look out for that, because obviously they don't want everyone to see it unless you take ads and stuff on Facebook, which we will do now from this week on to kind of reach more people. But just the organic reach is not that big, so keep looking out and popping into the pages and the groups and checking it out.
Yeah, and give them a like and a follow. I mean, social media networks don't necessarily make it easy for small enterprises to make any headway in getting their message out there and getting people involved and excited about what they're doing. So every little bit helps.
People must check out your nerdverse pages and groups and things as well, and channels and all that. Do it. God damn it.
But thanks very much, Paul. Really do appreciate your time on a Saturday evening when you could be watching Fall of the House of Usher or uploading files to Quicket.
I've got lots of movies to process still, so I'll be going back to doing that.
Cool. But best of luck with that, and
thanks for the chat, man.
To seeing you at the cinema.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Cool,
Cheers.
man.